Have been bad. I was pulling off the trailer, coming around. I'm out in the street. I made the turn, and all of a sudden the hydraulics and the track stopped moving. So I knew immediately what it was because I didn't hear the fan going either. And it's the drive belt that drives off the engine and spins the hydraulic pump. So that broke off on me. And all that I did to take it off was take these two 14mm bolts out here so I can move the air box up and out of my way a little bit. And then there's only one 14mm bolt here. Once you pull it out, you can move the shroud, click it that way, and it pops off the tab, and then this way it pops off the tab. I just slid it out the back here. Now I'm trying to get the belt out, and I'm having an issue because on the tension pulley, and also that's another 14mm bolt right there. I got the tension pulley loose, but the belt is stuck, wrapped up inside of it. So I'm going to pull that bolt right out, get that tension pulley right out of here, and get the belt out. So I need two hands. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's see. There's the tension pulley. Just one bolt holds it on there. I don't know what that spring is. I don't know what that spring's all about there. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But then the belt is stuck still, and it's stuck. Yeah, it's wrapped up behind the hydraulic pump pulley right there, so I'm gonna fish my hands in there and try to dig that out. Be right back. There it is. Man, that is worn out, huh? Surprised it lasted me a year. That's nasty. So just called the Bobcat dealership, and they have a new belt for me sitting there. So it looks like all I got to do is put it on like a bicycle chain here. So over these two pulleys. I don't know why. See, I was riding in this groove and this groove. This groove is rusty, so there wasn't one in there. I wonder if this used to be. Yeah. This looks like a factory edge here. And this thing's broken off. Hang on, I got company. Where was I? I think that this belt used to be three strips wide, and the outer one broke off some time ago. Previous owner. So, you know, it's one of those things that they didn't check when they before they put it on, you know, sell it used. And I noticed these belts over here. This one's for the water pump, and it seems fine. This one here is that's my air conditioner, the pump for the air conditioner, and I think I heard it chirp a few times on me when it was cycling, so I might need to replace that belt too. But what I'm going to do now is go up to the Bobcat dealership, pick this one up, and then see if they got those. If not, maybe order them. But yeah, so that could have been bad. I was out in the road, and I just made this corner, and pop, it just stopped. So I got lucky on that one. But yeah, I'm gonna go head up there now. Get you back in a bit. Got back from the Bobcat store. Apparently this is like a little preloaded spring tensioner for on the pulley. So when there's belt pressure on the pulley, there's like a small, like a cam on that thing, and the spring holds it with just enough tension on it. So I'm not worried about that right now. I got the new belt for the water pump and alternator, and then the new belt for the air conditioner, and then of course the new belt for the hydraulics. This is for the air conditioner. If you want to see the part number, it's right there. This is the one for the alternator and water pump. It's right there. And then this one is the main belt for the hydraulics. That's right there. And it is a three-tiered belt, kind of like I thought. So the other one that I had on there, see what I mean? The other one I had on, one was missing. So when you're installing belts, and this goes back to snowmobiling and all this other stuff, but when you're installing a belt, when you put it on the pulleys, you want the numbers to be facing out, because it's going to spin this direction. It's going to spin this direction, and that's kind of the way they wind all these the nylon in this wrap is in that direction. If you put it on backwards and it's spinning this direction, it actually it can actually come delaminated and unwind on you. So just make sure that when you put your belt on, put the numbers and words facing out. So I'm going to get to it now. When you put these belts on or take them off, it'd be much easier just to pull this air box right off. Just pull that hose clamp, pull the other hose clamp on the other pipe, and then unhook the power. I unhooked the electric to it, but I just kind of flopped it out of the way. Another thing, the battery, pulling the battery out and the battery tray, then you'd have just full open access to this. But kind of in a hurry, and I just kind of want to throw this on real quick, so I'm going to put you guys down and get the belt on halfway, and then we'll take the next step. So it doesn't get much easier than that. With the tension pulley off, the belt just literally just falls right on. And just make sure that your grooves are all lined up with the V. And then if your tension pulley is off like mine was, just rest it on the belt, and with one hand just lightly put pressure on it down, and it fits in a groove right there, so it's not like you can be off from the hole. You'll just be up or down from the hole. So just put light pressure with one hand, and then the bolt, you get started, and you can see how far down the bolt is. So just get the bolt started by hand. I'm going to tighten that all the way up so that it's almost tight, maybe just like a half a turn more for tight. And then I'm just going to put a pry bar in between that housing and the top of the tension pulley right up inside there. Just put a pry bar up there, put light pressure down on it to get some more tension on that belt, and then tighten up the rest. They didn't tell me any specs on how tight it's supposed to be. They said basically when you push down on that, the spring, that little coil spring in the back of that pulley on that cam will keep it as tight as it needs to be, or as loose as it needs to be, depending on where it is. So he said just in 10 hours or so, check it. And also, like when you're running into a pile of dirt, if you hear a little bit of a squeal or something like that, 9 times out of 10 your belt is loose. So just kind of keep your ears open for that, and then check it check it the first 10 hours or something like that, just to make sure that that belt has got some good tension on it. So let me get a wrench on that, and I'll get back to you in a minute. And with the pry bar up in here, like let's see if I can get it like in there, I just pry it up on it, and I push this down about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and then I was able to, with my other hand, reach in and tighten that bolt. You can see how much it was up from the last belt, or further down from the last belt, because when they broke that outer piece off, they must have just went in there and tightened her up a little bit tighter. But no, that should be it for now. I'm going to fire up the machine and just get it spinning, and then I will come back out here, take a look at it, and then hook the shroud back up if it doesn't need anything else. So let's go do that. I see a little bit of deflection. Yeah, the belt is bouncing. I think I'm going to go to try to tighten that up another little bit. So let me shut it down here, and we'll go ahead and do that. Hand's going to be in your way, but just got to come on this bolt here, and I'll loosen it a little bit. What did I get? 14, yeah. Get on there. Okay. So now, give that belt a little time to seat. Now here, just put this pry bar in here. Give her a crank like that. See how I'm moving it up and down a little bit? Alright, so I'm going to just crank this down with one hand and then tighten that bolt, but I need my arm right where your camera is, so you get the idea. Just put a pry bar in here, push down on it, and we're good to go. So let me get that tightened up. I'll be right back. There we go. 90% of that deflection bouncing around a little bit. I guess that's that preload tension on that spring. So I'm going to shut it down now. I already hooked up the power there. I just got to hook this back up and put the I'll put the shroud on first, then hook this back up. So I'll get back to you in a second. So the shroud, once this bolt is out here, this can move. So then you just pull this back, and it comes into that opening, and then the cover comes off. So just put it over there, pop it through. There's one on the bottom. Do the same thing, and then take the bolt. Can you even see through here? Maybe. Little nut zerk there. That's good there. I'll tighten that up. And then these. I know you're crooked, but that's my stand. Fit in there. I'm gonna lose you, I think, batteries, but perfect time because we're done. Just tighten these up. These are all 14 millimeter bolts. I think even the one for the battery tray is, if you're gonna remove the battery tray. But okay. So yeah, that's it. That's back on. The wire's plugged in, belt's tensioned, and we're good. I got those other two belts. They're for over here, and it looks to me like the alternator and water pump belt. I'm gonna pull this cover off, and the alternator looks like this bolt right here. Pull this cover off, this bolt right here, loosen this one, the alternator can pivot, and we can lose tension on that belt. Pop the belt off, but as you can see, it's trapped behind this belt. This belt is for my air conditioner, and I don't know, there's got to be a tensioner for it, I would think, but I don't see it. So I might be able to, I think you can just kind of bicycle chain it on, you know what I mean, get it started, and then just twist that pulley to pop it on. So, but as you can see, I don't have any cracks in them yet. They're in fairly good shape. So I have those other two belts for in the future, so we'll make another video on that. But for now, that is how you change the belt for your hydraulic pump. Very, very straightforward and easy. If you're stuck out on the street, it's gonna suck, and if you're stuck way back in the mud somewhere, it's gonna suck. But just know that just a 14 millimeter wrench, you can get enough stuff out of your way to get that pulley off, or to get that belt on. So hope you like this video. If you want, please comment, rate, subscribe, and have a great day.